It's been pretty well documented. I'm going to stay with Alabama here for another week until we get through the national championship game, which I think is the right thing to do. I made a commitment to Coach Saban and to these players and to see that through in the championship game. And then directly after that, I'll be in Austin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm William Galloway. So there you have it. Steve Sarkisian will remain with Alabama through next Monday night's national championship game versus Ohio State. And after the game, he will hold a formal press conference with Texas. But until then, Alabama has some business to take care of. So let's go ahead and dive into that and see what's up with Alabama and Ohio State. Number 1, Alabama is 12-0, and number 3, Ohio State is 7-0. At first glance, this game looks like it's going to be a track meet. Alabama averages just over 48 points per game, while Ohio State averages 43. The Buckeyes put up 639 yards of offense against Clemson in the Sugar Bowl. Their season average is 545 yards per game, but the Crimson Tide defense has only given up an average of 353 yards in each contest this season. So now we look at the question of what gives. Ohio State defeated Alabama 42-35 in the 2015 playoff semifinal. Of course, that was at the Sugar Bowl. But how about this? Nick Saban is 18-2 at Alabama when it comes to avenging a previous loss. Ohio State head coach Ryan Day was excited after the win over Clemson, and rightfully so. But he knows that he has to continue to keep climbing if he wants to reach the top and defeat Alabama and Nick Saban.
I think it's huge. Now we still have another game to play, and you know this thing's not done yet. But I do think this was big for us. This was a statement for us as a program to win a CFP game, especially after what happened last year, and to play the way we did. It means a lot for our program. But we're not done. We got a lot of work to do. We've got to get on this film, figure out some things to adjust, because we got a really talented Bama team that we got to go play.
You know who else is talented? This guy, Derrick Henry. Today versus the Texans, the former Alabama running back ran the ball 34 times for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns. With such numbers, he eclipsed the 2,000-yard mark for this season. Henry is only the 8th player in the history of the NFL to rush for over 2,000 yards in 1 year. He has 3 200-plus yard rushing games this season, and now he has the most rushing yards in the NFL for back-to-back seasons. And if that's not enough for you, Henry has run for over 2,000 yards in a season at the high school, college, and professional level. I mean, what else do you want to say? This guy's cut from a different cloth. Tennessee went on to win it on a last-second field goal, 41-38 over Houston, and the Titans are AFC South champions for the first time since 2008. Moving east from Nashville to Knoxville. Yesterday, the Alabama men's basketball team knocked off number 7 Tennessee 71-63. Alabama is now 7-3 overall and 2-0 in SEC play. John Petty Jr. led the Crimson Tide in the scoring column. He had 17 points. He was 4 for 4 from beyond the arc. Great shooting performance from the Huntsville native. This is the first true top 10 road win for the Alabama Crimson Tide since 2004, when Alabama defeated then number 4 Mississippi State 77-73 in Starkville. Nate Oates and the squad are back at it on Tuesday night at home at 6 p.m. versus Florida. That game will be on ESPN2. The undefeated Alabama women's basketball team takes on number 4 South Carolina tomorrow night at home. South Carolina has won 16 of the last 23 games in this series, but Christy Curry has her team playing fantastic basketball right now. The Crimson Tide have 3 players averaging double-figure scoring, and the team averages 82 points per game. They really get up and down. Once again, tip-off is at 6 p.m. tomorrow night in Coleman Coliseum, and the game will air live on the SEC Network. Don Sauls, who is the oldest living University of Alabama football player, died yesterday at the age of 101. He was a fullback on Frank Thomas's 1941 national championship team that won the Cotton Bowl. Sauls served in World War II and was presented with a Purple Heart Award. He became the Jacksonville State head coach in 1946 after the war. Sauls was inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in 1992. Additionally, former Alabama assistant basketball coach John Bostic died yesterday. According to Christopher Walsh of SI.com, Bostic died from complications due to COVID-19. He was a tied assistant coach for C.M. Newton and Wimp Sanderson, and in his 13 seasons on the staff, the Winfield, Alabama native helped Alabama basketball win 3 SEC championships. Following his coaching career, he and his wife retired in Tuscaloosa. That's it for sports this evening. I'm William Galloway. We'll be right back after this.